Hello and welcome. Today we are joined by Mr. Thomas Paul. He is Managing Director of Clymet Logistics, a leading name in temperature controlled logistics across the Middle East and one of the key sponsors of the upcoming second World Cold Chain Expo taking place on 10th and 11th of September 2025 in Dubai. We are excited to dive into Clymet's journey today, knowing about their innovations, their vision for the future of the cold chain sector. Thomas, it is a pleasure to have you with us. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Tanya. Very good. Pretty hot outside. It's 52 degrees outside. But pretty excited to be part of the journey. Yeah. Thanks for
Absolutely.
having me, sir.
No, it's great to be joined by you, and we're so happy. And we're also excited to be bringing Climate Logistics to the venue and to the event for other partners to know what kind of business you're bringing to the platform. So, without a further ado, Thomas, to start with, obviously, my congratulations will continue on you being a key sponsor for the second WCC. But what does this partnership really mean for Climate? And in your kind opinion, why do you think events like these are important for the kind of industry you are building an ecosystem with?
Okay. Um, uh, See, Climate Logistics, we have only 3 years into the market,
Mhm.
and we have not really had participated in any of the events like this. It was whatever that we have grown till now. It's through the word of mouth. It's through the value that we have given in the market. Now, I believe this is, or rather, we as a company, we believe that it's time that no, we go out and probably tell the people who don't know us as to what exactly that we're doing. And WCC, I believe, World Cold Chain is a right platform to do that because we are very specified into the cold chain. We don't do any other logistics. I probably would explain more during the interview if I get a chance as to what are our core services and activities. So I believe we are excited to be part of the journey in terms of being a sponsor for the WCC. We hope that we will add value in letting Climate know to more people outside our network. Also, we will be excited to be learning a lot of other things and new things that we don't know from WCC and meeting new people.
Absolutely, and that is exactly what we're also aiming for. I understand that businesses who are entering the platform for the first time are excited to also understand what kind of a growth trajectory you can take back home once you're at the event, what kind of business dealings or what kind of new innovations would come your way. So I'm really happy that you're excited about it. That is exactly what we try to aim and achieve for our sponsors, especially. Now, Climate has long been recognized for its excellence in temperature control logistics. As you mentioned, that the word of mouth is really what brought your business excellence. So, for those who are less familiar, could you walk us through how your core services and what you believe truly sets Climate apart in a competitive landscape of the cold chain logistics?
Yep. See, I basically come from a DHL background. I've been with DHL Global Forwarding for many years.
Mhm.
I was a key account manager for all big five pharmaceutical companies. The Bayer, Baxter, AstraZeneca, on Johnson and Johnson, all of them.
Mhm.
I was also part of the team that brought in the Pfizer vaccines into Dubai during the COVID times.
Okay.
Uh, During my stint with DHL is where we understood that there was a gap in the market for handling the last mile. When I say last mile, the quality was perfect till it arrived at the airport. But
Right.
from there, all of these bigger pharmaceutical companies found there was a gap in the market. There was also experienced people available in the market, but we had to go find it out. So in 2022 is when I quit DHL, started with Climate with some experienced people. We are more like an McD menu, the McDonald's menu. We don't do everything, though we have the expertise of doing end-to-end international logistics. We are very confined to two activities: customs clearances and local cold chain transportation in UAE. That's it, nothing more than that. What makes us special is that we do only temperature control. That is 100% of our cargo are temperature control, and we only do pharmaceuticals.
Right.
So we don't touch general cargo, we don't touch food, we don't touch anything else. Food probably at a later point of time, not now,
Mm.
because we there's a gap in the market for pharmaceuticals, and that's where we are. So very specific. customs clearances and local transportation cold chain movements across UAE. Across these, we handle pharmaceuticals, life sciences, medical devices, stem cells, biological samples. We are almost at the verge of getting the approval for carrying radio pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
So radioactive pharmaceuticals, I don't think anyone does that in UAE in terms of logistics providers. So that is where we add value. So today we probably are one on probably I don't know I'm probably one of the only company in UAE that
Mhm.
handles only pharmaceuticals as a logistics concern.
No, I completely understand that concept, I think, Thomas. And what we've been witnessing over time is that businesses who are really focused on one particular sector, eventually, how you mentioned that the aim is to fill those gaps, those market gaps that you thought in your journey so far were prevailing in the pharmaceutical sector, and the way you're trying to go after it, focused and trying to mitigate those kind of gaps is really, I think, important for those who are also, I mean, there are some businesses who wants to adapt that model. So I think it is a good example for that.
The value added that we give here is, see, 100% of our fleet are
Hmm.
GDP certified, WHO
Hmm.
the GDP certified, used exclusively for. So you probably would ask me, why we confined ourselves to pharmaceuticals.
Hmm.
See, I'll give you one single example here. The pharmaceutical products cannot have, cannot have pest. I mean, in the sense, I mean, pest is something, cannot be, get into the pharmacy, into the medicines. Yeah.
Right.
So medicines does not attract pests. What
Hmm.
does it food? So if our fleet is being used for handling food, then probably pest it can attract pests, and that is against the GDP certification for pharmaceuticals. So
Right.
that's where we go into the details. The devil lies in the details. We go into details and we make sure that we 100% cater to the GDP certificate, the good distribution practices as specified by the WHO.
Hmm.
So we go in for all in all to make sure that no, everything that we do it's qualified, validated, and service oriented. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy to hear that, and it was insightful for you to share it. Now, Thomas, looking at the broader Middle East region, you mentioned that there have been gaps that you've witnessed. I would like you to, highlight those gaps to me in a little more specificity and, help us understand that what are exactly these challenges and is there a scope for more emerging opportunities? Especially, let's bring in the pharmaceutical sector itself and not move like beat around the bush. And how is Clymet positioning itself to respond to such challenges? I mean, maybe like an in-depth explanation of that.
See, the challenges comes in the weather conditions outside of in UAE.
Hmm.
Nowhere in the country, nowhere in the world, I probably would say that the temperature the temperature control requirement
Right.
for pharmaceuticals, it's about 8 to 10 months,
Hmm.
which means, for example, ambient temperature, when we say about it, it's about 15 to 25 degrees Celsius.
Hmm.
The only 2 months that UAE or Dubai can talk about less than 25 degrees is probably in December and Jan.
Right.
you know all the other days of the month or the year are about 25 degrees, which means the requirement for having temperature control is of top notch across especially in UAE, when you compare that, or rather across Middle East, when you compare that with
Across
anywhere in the
GCC. Hmm.
across GCC, when you compare that with anywhere in the world. And
Hmm.
that's where the challenge happens. We make sure the supply chain, the weakest link is the strength of the supply chain.
Hmm.
So we make sure that our drivers are trained,
Right.
our people on the ground, they exactly know how to handle passive packaging, active packaging, all of that. Now, in terms of challenges, number one, temperature, outside temperature is a challenge, because even today, when we talk about 48 degrees, 50 degrees,
Hmm.
our challenge is to keep it cool at -2, or rather 2 to 8.
Hmm.
So our fleet need to be top of the range. Our people should be trained on how to handle it. Um, the protocols, the systems, everything have to be top notch.
Hmm.
That's where the challenge, and that's where we got the opportunity. So
Right.
there was a challenge there was no specific provider handling all of these on a trained manner. So we've got all of them. That's one of them. The
Hmm.
number one, the second one is about the regulatory affairs.
Hmm.
See, the Dubai Health Authority, Dubai DHA, as well as the Ministry of Health, make sure that they try to improve the quality of the standards. The standards
Correct.
every year. 2022 Feb is where they came out with a decree saying that all pharmaceutical medical device products need to be strictly controlled as carried as temperature controlled.
Hmm.
It was good. It was good for the product. It was good for the market, but the market had its own challenges. So
Right.
that's one of the challenges because the infrastructure does not provide support it. So that's where we come in there, and today we provide the local transportation, local fleet, as well as the regulatory requirements. When you say regulatory requirements, if you want a Ministry of Health approval for any of the products, we make sure that we get it done.
Right.
We get customs clearances done for the Ministry of Health. So all of these are challenges for somebody who's come new into the market. That's where we
Hmm.
provide value.
Very well said. And I think with your answer, it is also very clear that it is important to have the kind of government collaborations and partnerships as well. And in a way, the government to also recognize these challenges and try to promote businesses, and I think in some way incentivize them as well, so as to maintain the kind of logistics order that is actually required in the pharmaceutical sector pertaining to the UAE market, and how the weather is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to your business. So, thank you for sharing that. Now, over the years, I'm sure Climate must have led several transformative projects as of yet, as you've clearly reiterated to us that you're probably one of the single-handed businesses doing focused pharmaceutical business in this department of cold chain logistics. So, could you share with us like a success story or a milestone project that reflects the kind of team impact and the leadership that you've reflected in the business?
Yeah, yes, yeah. Very recently, that something that very quickly comes into my head was something that we concluded recently. One of the big five pharmaceuticals, major vaccine producer, they had challenges. We call it as envirotainers. It comes in envirotainers, which means these are
Mhm.
active cooling. And we struck a deal. They had challenges on having the temperature control stability done. On the import permits for the Ministry of Health because they were starting a new entity here.
Right.
They were spinning off from their existing dealer distributor and going in for a new entity. They required a lot of things to be done they required help in a lot of things, and we successfully managed to get everything done. Today, we are doing the right from the import permits, the pre-approvals for the Ministry of Health, the import permits, the Tatmeen and the other Ministry of Health duty payments, or everything, end-to-end handling. Under strict temperature control is where we have done. So that's a success story that probably is very new to us because that was a big contract that we won recently.
Yeah, and I think important clients really adds to the story of success stories. So thank you for sharing that. Now, I want to quickly also bring in the point of sustainability here, Thomas. It is a priority across industries in today's world, and cold logistics is no exception. We know that. So, how is climate addressing environmental concerns in this business? Whether there is a green warehousing system in place, fuel efficient fleets, or are there any smart monitoring systems? I mean, if you could name them for us, that would be really great.
See, so, Tanya, sustainability is a long-term vision. So it cannot be attained short-term. It requires a lot of, there are a lot of challenges also comes along with. Whatever that we initiate that. Example, passive packaging that has been used.
Hmm.
Normally these are something that goes into the trash.
Right.
So we encourage our customers to use reusable passive packages. We encourage them to use the cardboard ones, not the plastic ones. When they carry it, we make sure that for the reusable ones, we handle the whole thing out here. No, it arrives here. We make sure that it's been delivered back into the respective places where it need to go. On a long term, I would say, see, fleet is where everyone looks into it. Fleet, EV and hybrid is a long-term vision. We can provide that, provided, we get a lot of requests from the market. Uh, Cost is something that, when it comes into the
Mm-hmm.
commercials, very difficult for them, because we're only a logistics provider here. You
Right.
know, we are only giving a service as required by the principal company or by the customer.
Mm-hmm.
We are 100% in for using EV vehicles or for hybrid, but the cost of it is more than about 50%.
Right.
It's that way. That's what I said it's a long-term mission.
Mm.
Whatever that we put in terms of handling, in terms of reusing our products, in terms of passive packaging, that's what is our immediate goal, and that's what we are doing it now.
Yeah, I think that's a very beautiful explanation, and it was, I think, something very honest that you shared, that you're trying to balance both short and long-term sustainability goals. You realize the importance of bridging the gap and addressing the challenges that comes in a business like this. So, great answer. Now, finally, Thomas, with the World Cold Chain Expo just around the corner, it's almost 1 month to go now. What are your expectations from this year's edition in Dubai, and what message, particularly, would you like to share with your fellow industry peers, partners, future collaborators? There's going to be a lot of media who's going to be, grasping the idea of such businesses who are bringing up specific ideas and specific solutions to the industry. So, what would be your message?
I'm very excited to be part of it, Tanya, because you guys have done a good job. Because I could see that a lot of companies, adding up every other day. Very excited to be part of it. I'm looking forward to learn a lot of new things, because these are exhibitions, exposes where you expose are where you get a lot of new ideas, you get new innovations. I'm looking forward to meeting people,
Right.
existing connections, existing people that we know, we interact with, as well as new connections. We'll be very excited to meet them. I'll also be excited to looking forward to having a lot of new of learnings from there. Technology is something where I know this it's coming up in a big way, especially in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the loggers of the temperature tracking, about
Right.
how this can be shared real time. A lot of things are coming up to the pallet level, to the minute level. So that's where we would want to meet a lot of people. So I'm excited to be part of it, and looking forward to it.
Great. And are there any big announcements that Climate is planning to make?
We would like to have one. Let's talk about it during the expo. We are really looking out for making a really big announcement out there.
That
Something
is
that
great.
is, if climate, when we started 3 years back, was a game changer in terms of specifically going to the niche of the product. We are trying to launch something else also, which is going to be another. It is in a different vertical, but that's going to be a very niche product in the market.
That is great. And I think, as excited as I am, the audience who's going to be listening to the discussion would be equally excited. And those who are actually coming to discover this opportunity would be really fond of the kind of announcement that you're going to make. Let's keep it hidden for now. So, thank you so much, Thomas, for taking the time to speak with me today and offering such valuable insights. It is inspiring eventually to hear how climate logistics is really pushing the boundaries of innovations while staying committed. And we really look forward to seeing you at the second World Cold Chain Expo in Dubai on 10th, 11th of September at Festival Arena. And to everybody watching, please make sure that you visit their booth and listen to more such exciting conversations. Thank you for being with me, Thomas.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Pleasure is ours, and thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah.